lot of very clean energy for rural communities. But one problem is that many of those generations cannot be used or to be just sent to the grid. Finally, the generation cannot be used as effectively. And what if we have the peer-to-peer trading of energy? That's the generation come here, then it can just be used directly by my neighbor. We don't need to have the grid. We don't need to wait the country to go there. But this peer-to-peer energy trading system can be supported by blockchain technology. He really wanted it. But after many research and where to find the developer and how does the business model work and what is the tokenomics, and he cannot figure it out. So then he reached out to me, and then we had the conversation, and that's actually also bring us here. That's why India. Because, P2E is not a single company. And also the problem of energy poverty is not a single problem. We are talking about, more than 50% of the world population of poor people. Their asset cannot be used in a productive manner. But if we use blockchain technology to really help these, poor people to have their asset to be more liquid, we don't need to have government grant. We don't need to have international organizations' grants. We can just use their asset, what they have, to just make them be more productive. Another example is that India is really leading the identity. But what if the identity, because digital identity or without digital identity, that's we have more than 1 billion people who cannot participate effectively in the economic activities worldwide. And a big portion of that community is in India. And if we just build a blockchain-based digital identity solution to help to engage or to provide digital identity for those marginalized group, then they can just have the digital identity to just have a credit score, to just enable them to access basic service. Again, we can address enormous market here. So when I talk about market opportunity, it's not about companies from other places. It's about a company from India and serving the Indian population. So now we come back to Wemerge. And as a community incubator, what an incubator can do, what a community incubator can do. And come back to the example of Suharsh Sama's case. If he already have if he has already a clean tech company with solid technology, but have not figured out how to just make the blockchain part work, that's where we can help. We can work with the company to design the tokenomics, to also identify where are the peer-to-peer trading components just being piloted in other markets. What were the problems they were facing when they were just piloting those projects? And where are the developers? And how can they just write their white paper? When they have a pilot being designed, how can we help them to scale? If the Indian market is not enough for them, if they have bigger ambition, and how can we just bring them to other markets? And if their solution is only one of many, which can just really continue to just, making this industry stronger, and where are those good examples? Where are those partners? And we can help. So that's why when we merge in India, we are really here to help. And we know that this is a huge market, and this also will help a lot of people. So when we talk about the blockchain, and many people still are their understanding is at Bitcoin. It's all focus is about the digital currency, how to invest to make more money. But the blockchain technology, which is behind Bitcoin, behind all the digital currency that we have now, That's the backbone for the next generation of poverty reduction. That's the power of the technology, which will generate a lot of new GDP for many countries, such as India. So that's why we are talking about something fundamental. It's not only about the profits for now. It's not about just making you a big fortune now. It's about that we help the community who is next to us, who is our neighbor in our village, who has just worked with us or gave us life or just make us successful as of now. We use what we already have to just combine that with the blockchain technology. We give them a new chance to generate more opportunity or power for them to enable more people. So that's why we are here as Wemerge. We are a blockchain community incubator, and as the former Tony and Jonathan already talked about the blockchain application, and I also mentioned a little bit. I will not just continue. The idea that blockchain is only digital currency is totally wrong, and I would say it's totally wrong because it can just provide digital identity. It can just help to create digital assets. It can just generate a new model for cross-country payment. It can just create a traceability solution that we know that for the food chain and also for understanding the whole supply chain. And it can also just help a lot of existing business models to reduce their costs, to take a middleman out of the business process. Then the profits will just stay within the organization. So then when we talk about blockchain, we are talking about infrastructure technology. We are talking about a general purpose technology, which will help us to really create the next generation of growth worldwide. And of course, when you just heard this word first time, blockchain, that's a really weird word. And what does that even mean? We're not going to talk about that. But the essence of blockchain is really that it addresses some of the systematic problem we are facing that currently without blockchain we cannot address. That is the trust. From the ancient time that we trust the people because they are in my village, they are blood related, so that's why we trust them. But in a modern society that we cannot continue that trust because we may communicate, we may do transaction with people who is like millions of miles away. So then how can we don't have that kind of trust. Then we have the modern way to build the trust. That is brand. That is the third party. That is the authority. But if they make mistake, what will happen? And all those third party involved type of trust building process is costly. When we talk about a bank, think about it. If I'm a borrower, I just want to get that money. If you're a lender, you only want to give me the money. But the process will have like another 10 layers, only to prove one thing, that's I am who I am, I own what I own, and I do what I promise I do. That's so simple. But then you just see that in the bank, from the risk management process, and one stamp after another stamp, that's all cost. So because of the high risk, because of the cost, then finally the banks which are created to bring money to finance people, they cannot offer the service because the cost is too high and the risk is too high. So if we have the blockchain technology, which can just really answer the question that I am who I am, I own what I own, without third party, without any cost, we can really just at the minimum cost to just provide that service to those billion people which are really unbanked or underbanked. And think about the power of that. And we are not asking for any additional cost or grant or help from any organization. If we are a bank, we can really just make it a profitable business to reach to an audience or to reach to a customer base, which we were never able to. How amazing that can be, right? So these guys are, if you want to learn something really, academic, I will not, focus on that. But in general, what, these three guys, Coase, North, and Williamson did was that from the institutional economics, new institutional economics, they answered one question, that is, transactional cost matters. Why matters? Because, trust is really, really important. If without trust, and then you have to create the trust, and that creates a transaction cost. And then the other two guys, Prigozhin and also Wallerstein, they just, proved the one thing, that cost matters. Why matters? Because if the cost accumulate, the system cannot afford it, then the system collapses. It happens in the physical world. It also happens in the social world. So think about our society. If the costs continue to accumulate, we don't have a way to address that, and then our system, our society may collapse. So now we have a technology which help us to really take the third party out of all the transaction, potentially, and then we can really reduce the cost in our society. That is fundamental. That's why we have, Bitcoin and Ethereum and the new type of blockchain-based solution. The whole thing, that's when we talk about, the merit of blockchain technology towards a system. That is, it is a very, very fundamental, very important technology which can really help us to address the systematic cost. That is to sustain our system. And so that's why, we already mentioned a part of the data. You can read that later. That, we are using blockchain technology not to address one company's problem, one city problem. We are addressing billion people, trillion-dollar market. And when you can address that, if you are an entrepreneur, you will be a trillion-dollar company. So when the funny thing, when people ask me after I left the World Bank, why did I choose blockchain? My joke was that I was not old enough to just become an entrepreneur during the internet age. So I couldn't be Microsoft. I couldn't be IBM. But now, luckily, that I'm born in the age of blockchain, I, together with a billion people in the world that have the opportunity, potentially, becoming the new technology pioneer, which can really just create this next unicorns. And Wemerge is here to work with everybody to just make you as a potential next unicorn. So now, when we talk about, if you are already an entrepreneur, let me do a survey before I continue. That's who are working on any blockchain projects in the audience? Okay, and who are thinking about creating blockchain projects? Awesome. You see that this is exactly the type of audience that we are looking forward to have, because only when you already want it, and then you already have an amazing team, or you already have an amazing problem, and then this is what we can do for you. Through a venture building process, that we can help you to identify, to just build your problem, and to clarify your problem, to just connect your problem with the existing solutions, with the, to select the ledgers. And then that's why incubator is very important. But if you have all the pieces, you don't have people. And then the community also can help you to identify the talents. If the talent is not in this market, doesn't matter. We can bring the global talents. If, of course, all the economy will just need the local community to grow, then we can just bring the knowledge, bring the training, bring the certification program to India, working with the local community, working with the universities to just create that talent here. And yet tomorrow, we'll have an event together with IT. That's one of example that's working with the local university and the local training organizations. We can bring the talent. The third part is if you want to build a blockchain technology company, and especially if you issue a token, you want the community to know that you are doing something amazing. You need your voice to be heard. You need your project to just be showcased in front of the worldwide investors. That's where, as a community, we can help. We can bring you to the US. We can bring you to China. We can bring you in different part of India, because this, you see this event. This is one of the many future events that we are going to organize in India and beyond, together with the partners. So if you have a great project coming out of the incubator, you have the opportunity to just bring the idea, bring the product, and bring your amazing team, and even bring your consumers or customers together with you to just tell the world we are doing something amazing. So that's why we have this, blockchain media or blockchain TV network. We help you to organize the event, or also bring your message out. Last piece is, of course, the investment. Everybody is, when you want to just build a project, when you want to just build a company, when you want to be successful, you need money. So then, Wemerge provided some of the capital. And, from our global network, we have a lot of leading investors who are in our network who are willing to really put their capital behind those impactful projects. So with this community, you have the incubator and who help you to build your venture. You have the academy who help you to just identify and build the talent. Then you have the TV network or media network, which can help you to market your idea, bring your success to the world audience or to the world market. And then you have the investment of the capital, which can help you to be successful. So that's, when we talk about the community incubator, we are here not to make ourselves successful. We are here to go with you to make you successful and also make us successful. So, of course, when we started, we are not, so I used to work for UN, I used to work for World Bank, but Wemerge is not an international organization, it's not a charity. And we are here to be successful, but we want to be successful together with you. And so that's, again, that we are not only in Malaysia, in China, in US, and we are going to be everywhere. And if you want to be, in different countries and selling your products or marketing your solution or just bring that impact you're looking for to other population in Africa, in Latin America, that's we can be helpful. So that's, you can see many of our global partners in different countries. You also can see that, many of our advisors coming from totally different backgrounds. Some are the leading investors, some are the leading developers, programmers, some are the, amazing academic researchers, and others are just those young leaders under 30. So we have different committees just really help you to grow together with the global community. And we have organized, a lot of events worldwide and worked with, a lot of global leaders, global brand to just, help them to basically do, what I have already shared with you. That is help you to be successful, building ventures, bring capitals, bring market, help you to sell the product, etc. So these are, a few forum or a few vehicles that we have, which we can offer to every one of you. And so as part of Wemerge, that you will be also part of the Global Digital Economy Hub. So from the map that you can see that the hub is everywhere, and when you are part of a Wemerge community, and you are actually a true global citizen or true global entrepreneur. And now we have, a call for application, which already started. And if you as the survey showed that some of you are thinking about it, others are working on it, and the Wemerge team are here. Bring your project to us and submit your application and share your ideas. We are already open to listen. And in May, we have another major event in Beijing, China, and you're welcome to join us. And then in June and also August, we have series of events which will just help again to just bridge the gap between different communities. As we, the last piece of my message is really that Wemerge is a global community. And we really, of course, each community has its local characteristic and it has local problem. Our way to help is that we bring the global to the local. We also bring the local to the global. So join us, and I think that this will be a very amazing journey, and you will see that your life, your idea, your technology, your solution, your passion will create the real world impact, not to only make people rich, not only to make you rich. You will help those who are not able to access to finance to just be able to use the access to bank service. Then you help those who don't have any means to just leverage other type of resources to just leverage that. And you will also help those who may not be able to just survive from this current situation or competition, to reduce the cost in their business model to make them successful. So we are talking about using the technology to change lives, to change society, to change business. So join us and we'll work with you, and we'll work with you in India, we'll work with you in many other markets. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Zhang. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up on stage next is Mr. George Wong, founding partner in charge of the global community. He also came all the way from Malaysia.